The one spirit that's really showing exponential growth worldwide is the tequila market. And that's hard for us to do here in Alberta because we don't have any agave that's growing wild. Now, I know there is some in the Mattart Conservatory. And we did something I don't think anybody else has done yet. We brought agave syrup up from Mexico and we started to ferment it and we're mixing it in with some local stuff so that we can make a locally made tequila. We're not allowed to call it tequila if it's not made in a certain part of Mexico, so we had to be creative with the name. We're close to the Edmonton International Airport, so we decided to steal the call sign YEG, and we're calling ours Yeguila. So here we are at the Mattart Conservatory. It's in the Edmonton River Valley if you haven't been down here. All these beautiful pyramid buildings, you see them when you're driving by. And they are basically a giant greenhouse here. So they have all different environments that they have within each one of these pyramids. And we're gonna get a little bit of a tour of them today from some of their staff. We have a special tie here to the Mattart as well because the Kalina restaurant that's here carries some of our products. So we definitely appreciate that they do that. The main reason that I'm here is I actually found out that they have blue agave plants growing in the Mattart Conservatory in one of their environments. And we want to make some tequila. So we need blue agave for that. Our first principle is to only source locally. It's the only place I can find in Alberta that's growing agave. So I wonder if we can talk them out of some. Let's see. Arid, that's where the agave is going to be. Oh man, it's the first thing you see when you walk in here. Now, how are we gonna get this out of here? He even says mezcal right on it.
Hey Jeff, what are you doing over here?
Oh, hey, hi guys.
Hi.
Good to see you. So I was wondering how valuable these plants are because, as you know, I have a distillery. And we really want to grow or make some tequila. But our number one principle is that we only use things that grow in Alberta. And this is the only blue agave I can find in Alberta. What's the odds of you guys parting with this?
What's the odds that that's my favorite plant at the conservatory?
Oh, I was worried about that. Well, that's fair enough. I think you guys just had a bunch of renovations done at the Mattart here, have you not? Yes.
Yeah, so this is the Mattart Conservatory. We obviously are a plant conservatory, so we have 3 different biomes within the conservatory, but 4 pyramids. So there is the temperate biome, the arid, which we're in right now, and it has sort of that like deserty feel, the tropical, and then the feature pyramid. And the feature pyramid is the one that we, on a regular schedule, will rotate with different themes, depending on what plant material is available, what we have in our greenhouses. Yeah, so
I'm surprised how how chilly it is in here for being an arid environment. But then I start thinking, well, of course, the desert at night gets very cold, doesn't it,
Not a lot
right?
of cloud cover.
No.
So we try to manipulate the actual temperatures with a computer automated system. So we can manipulate temperatures, change them, make them hotter, colder, depending on what the actual pyramid needs.
So this arid pyramid that we're in right now, does it need less maintenance in the wintertime when it's not getting as much heat and as much
less
sunlight
water.
and less water? That makes sense.
Because we don't want to soak the roots and rot everything out. So it's the cactus are a little bit of a trickier crop to have.
So you're trying to mimic the actual environment that they would be in, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So should we go to a couple of the other pyramids and show people what those look like?
for
All right,
sure.
show me the way. Oh man, it smells absolutely amazing in here.
That's the smell of hyacinth. That's the pink and purple bulbs here.
Oh, okay.
Tulips don't really have that much of a smell.
Let me see. Oh, that's amazing.
Well, we've got a little trick.
Oh, you can lift the whole thing out.
They're in
No
pots.
kidding.
Because we have to change them out a couple times in the next couple months, will swap them out.
Okay, yes,
And then
absolutely.
we have all types of gardening examples in here because not everybody just has flower gardens. So we have container garden, hanging garden.
Oh yeah, I see that, yeah.
Fairy garden behind us.
So who
all
comes
packed
up
in
with the
here.
idea for the themes when you change? Oh, you two. It's teamwork, is it? Yes. Well, that's how the best ideas come together. There's no doubt about it. That's how it works at the distillery too.
Of course.
Yes.
100%.
I can't help standing here, start having my distiller's brain start working, thinking, okay, can I pick some of those to make some gin from? I see an herb. Is this
Yes.
a herb or vegetable garden?
It's a little bit of both.
Let's go have a look at that because we use a lot of herbs in some of the things that we do as well.
Okay. From dill.
So we have a dill pickle vodka that we make. We use a little bit of mint, absolutely, and we use some oregano sometimes too. A little bit of everything. What did you change during the renos that you had here? Because you were closed for a year and a half, 2 years. The timing was good because it was a lot of the COVID time,
during
right?
the pandemic.
Yes.
So we did time. Well, I mean, we didn't know that the pandemic was going to happen, obviously, but the timing worked really well for us. So we closed July of 2019, and it was a huge rehab project. So primarily behind the scenes. There were some pieces, like in the feature here, saw like a significant amount of work done.
Like, were you taking walls out and things like that, or
Yeah.
more? You were, okay.
Walls, floors. I believe in here it was dug down quite significantly. Lots of like remediation work done on the floor.
Some stuff was able to be removed, but some stuff just had to.
Be babied
Yeah.
and worked around.
And the construction
Interesting.
company was like super, they worked really well with us because we didn't close down shop. We were still here. We were still taking care of the collection while they're like putting in all of these brand new rads around the perimeter. Niche kind of work that went on here, like everything from extending that rock wall around the perimeter
Oh, okay.
to adding this new stuff, and like they even painted all the way up to the apex, so they had in the
Wow.
pyramids that were like
Yes.
dangling from the rafters with their stuff, putting this brand new slick black coat of paint on. So it looks really, really sharp.
Well, let's move to another pyramid.
Sure.
Tropical.
Let's do it.
Tropical. There might be. That gives me an idea.
We'll go up
Much
to a new
warmer.
place that we put in during the reno called the Lookout Point.
It's like it's raining in here. It feels like it's misty.
Yeah,
like
the
humidity is
so
unreal.
good,
Yes.
Yeah.
This was a big segment that you added during your renos.
Yes, that was the grower decided to do this.
It's like a hidden pathway that takes you right up into the corner here. Oh, wow.
This view of the pyramid, the whole thing hasn't ever really been accessible to people for a really long time because it was just cut off and it was kind of used as a plant hospital.
Oh,
But
okay.
then during the course of the rehab, the grower that works in here decided it would be a nice place for interpreters to set all the kids along the wall.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they could talk about the plant material while not impeding the pathway and letting the kids get educated.
That's great. And it, just looking here, like if you didn't look up at the pyramid above it, like you cannot tell this is in Edmonton, Alberta. Like,
No, the best is when like the snow is on the panels of the glass of the pyramid, so you're like surrounded by snow, but you're in this like
you're in the jungle.
tropical
It's
oasis.
completely
Yeah.
jungle.
And
It's
it's
absolutely
much
amazing.
warmer here.
So we're gonna have to get a little more green thumb because we're building a new facility right now,
Oh.
and part of our plan is we're actually transplanting medicinal indigenous plants
Wow.
to our property. We want to have something like what you guys have here with little signs on them or a QR code where people can come and do a self-tour even maybe and see what that plant is and what its medicinal properties are and things like that. And if I transplant them and they're not living, I'm going to have to give you guys an idea to help us out.
There's someone around
Make
here
sure
to
they
help.
stay alive,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, now that you talk about that QR reader, we're doing the same thing. So our labels are eventually going to have our QR on them. And so Sarah's team has been doing a lot of work behind that.
Yeah, so the goal is that every plant label that you see throughout the pyramid will have a QR code on it. So anyone can just be walking through the pyramid, look at a plant, want to know more about it, scan it with their QR code, and immediate information.
That's
So-
what we wanted to do too. And we
Yeah.
thought that we might reach a younger generation
Yes.
by doing
Yes.
that. I imagine in this tropical environment, there's some plants in here that you wouldn't want to be eating or drinking,
Yeah.
Yes,
right?
that's
Yeah.
very true.
The dumb cane, although they don't call it dumb cane anymore, but it's Dieffenbachia. It will
okay.
make your mouth numb.
Really?
And give you the inability to speak. So it's kind of these names that are a little bit dated and out of touch. So there is, but we don't encourage people to eat and sample and taste and,
I know.
yeah.
But I'm not a big follower of the rules sometimes. They did a nice job with the renovations adding that path. It's beautiful up there.
But here's the bananas.
Oh,
Here,
yeah.
here,
Is that
here.
the fruit?
Yes.
pod
And
you were
you can
talking
see
about?
tiny, tiny bananas starting at the top.
Oh yeah,
And then
they're
that's the banana flower at the bottom. So
looks like okra right now. Very cool. How long will they take to grow?
about 18 months.
Oh really?
Here's the base of an old one, so you can see where we chopped it down.
Is this the one you were talking about here?
That's the dumb cane.
So this stuff here makes you go numb?
Yeah.
Interesting. Is this thing underground?
Yeah, this hallway that connects the pyramids to the greenhouse is
Oh,
underground.
so like there's no way anybody could break in here then, right?
Right.
It could be pretty hard.
So this is the behind the scenes. This is what we call our header house or the spine. It connects all the adjoining greenhouses, and each greenhouse is like the pyramids. It has different temperatures based on
okay.
plant material that's being grown inside of it.
And how, like, looking out the window here,
They're
how many,
expensive.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How many individual greenhouses do you
9.
have? 9,
Yeah.
amazing. And this is always closed to the public?
Well, just recently.
Yeah, so we've just started doing behind the scenes tours again.
Oh, really?
So it's an awesome opportunity. Our Wednesday evenings, which are our adult only evenings, we offer those experiences. You know, every couple weekends we'll offer them. We promote it through our social media, but they're always very well attended. People love to see, they just don't know, and they want to see, well, how do you care for all these plants, and where do they start, and where do they come from?
Now, how big a groups are you getting in these evening tours that you're doing?
Because it, as you can, we'll see, it's quite tight
Yeah,
space.
yeah,
so
it's
we try
abs-
and keep it to 20.
20 or so? Yeah.
But the demand is high, like,
Very
and
cool.
people love plants, and
Yeah.
people want to see, you know, they want to see more plants, and they love being in greenhouses. And
Is
so it's
Kalina
very
usually
popular.
open in those evening events as well? So
yes.
people can get food and drink at the same time
Yeah,
too? And
and
make
this-
a date evening of it or that sort of
Exactly.
thing?
So the
Right.
special thing about Wednesday evenings is that you can, you know, buy a cocktail at Kalina, go for a stroll around the pyramids, carry your drink with you.
Very cool.
Just a really nice evening out. Yeah.
And then Thursdays is open late for families.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we're open
really?
a little later on the Thursday night.
So
as well.
adult night Wednesday, family night Thursday.
Yeah.
Very cool. When do you guys sleep? Well, ladies, thank you so much for showing us around
Yeah,
today.
thanks for coming.
Very much
Pleasure.
appreciate
Good
all
luck
the
to you and
knowledge.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll have to get you out to tour that one, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Excellent.
We love that. Yeah.
Perfect. All right,
Cool.
you got to show me how to get out of here. It's a maze. We made it to Matart. We're here to see Cindy with Kalina. Hello. How are you? Good to see you.
See you too.
Thank you so much for carrying our products. I know you guys have had the Kikawanau gin teas in your restaurant here for a while, and
Yes.
our red ale. I brought something new to show you. This is our tequila that we make at Red Can Distillery, and we usually only use products that are grown in Alberta, so that presents a problem for making tequila. We're not allowed to call it tequila because it's not made in Mexico, so we had to get creative, and we stole the call signs for the Edmonton International Airport, YEG, and we decided to call it Yeguila. And it makes sense to have you have it at your restaurant because you're located right in the Matart Conservatory. But this isn't the only Kalina restaurant that you have, is it?
No, it is not. We have 3 Kalina locations. We have the Kalina to go here at the Matart, and then we have Kalina to go in the Oliver Exchange building, and a Kalina on the lake in the Horlac Park.
So Kalina to go, does that mean people are going to pop in, grab what they need, and head out? But you can also sit here and dine as well, right?
Yeah, we've kind of come away from the full service. Yeah, it's kind of just a grab and go kind of concept. So there's hot food, frozen food, sandwiches and salads from the cooler, and the idea is just grab and go, or I mean you can grab and have a seat.
You have hosted some events here at Matart Conservatory, evening events where you provided food for those
Yes.
sort of things. Are you
Absolutely.
doing that
so
again now?
catering's starting to ramp up again, so obviously we had a couple of years of, you know,
quiet with the COVID, like same
Yeah.
as everybody else did,
Yeah.
absolutely, for sure. Yeah.
And so all those canceled, postponed weddings are, it's going to be
Going
a busy,
crazy again.
really
Well,
busy summer.
we're building a new facility right now, and a big part of our new facility is a wedding venue that'll hold up to 150 people, and we don't have a kitchen operator yet, so maybe we should talk a little bit,
I
Nora.
think
Who
we
knows?
absolutely should talk.
Yeah. The products that you've carried of ours in the past have been our red ale and our Kikawanau gin tea coolers. And both of those products, half of the profits we donate to the Missing Murdered Indigenous Women's Fund.
Right.
And I think that was part of the appeal when we first started talking pre-COVID about some products being in Kalina, because you guys have some Indigenous ownership, right?
Yes, we're members of the Métis, Alberta Métis Nation.
And were you just doing some work at Métis Crossing here recently as well?
Yeah,
Yes.
Wade and my brother were consulting for Métis Crossing, and have helped them out with some of the larger functions that they've held in the past couple of years.
Oh, okay, yeah. And so are you going to end up having a bigger footprint with them out there eventually, or continue to work with them in a similar process?
Yeah, we'll see. We actually, our family has property just like
Oh.
right on the Victoria Trail, so
Oh.
it's pretty hard to not be part of the Métis Crossing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we love it
So
up there.
if people want to pop in and grab something, the hours here at Metard are 10 till
10 to 5.
5.
And then on Wednesdays, it's adult night, so I would imagine we'll be maybe
Doing some
cocktails.
margaritas or
Yeah,
something, maybe,
exactly.
yes.
Adult night from 5 to 9. And you can actually grab a drink from the cafe and walk around the
whole Metard's licensed.
the pyramids, yes,
that's
which you never
very
used
cool.
to be able to do before, but that's something a bit new. So it's really
Wonderful.
nice. You can just take your time, have a drink, come back, have something to eat. The website is kalinafamily.ca.
Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate you carrying our products in your
Thanks.
restaurant.
Yeah,
Thanks.
great to
We'll
chat
see you
with
again.
you.
Enjoy the
Thank you.
Yagila.
I will.
All right, cheers.
Thanks.
So making a reality TV show like we've been doing for 3 or 4 years here seems pretty natural to me. All I got to do is talk to you like I'm talking to a friend of mine. It's totally different when there's a script you have to follow, and there's stunt coordinators that you have to work with, and there's lighting specialists, and there's different camera angles. So we want you to have a sneak peek of Metard Impossible, where me and Mike invade the Metard Conservatory.
Mike, come in.
I see that, Jeff, but
Don't use my real name. Use my call sign, Blackhawk.
sorry, Blackhawk. I see you're
I
in.
don't see any agave in here, Mike.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. You're in the wrong pyramid. You have to go to the arid.
Hey, there's a guard in here. I knew those guards in the conservatory.
You better get out of there, Jeff.
I'm out of here.
He'd get lost in his own distillery if I let him. He's a big boy. He should be all right. I think I'll just catch a few Z's.
Mike. Mike, come in. Mike, where are you? Hey, buddy, what are you doing? Don't hurt him.
He'll be fine. Just a little sleeper hold. He'll be out for a few hours and minor brain trauma. Now, what are you doing here, Jeff?
How do you know my name?
Well, I always say, when you're behind enemy lines, you should never wear your name above your heart. Now, what does the tequila cartel want to do with you?
I don't know. I'm a local distiller. I want to make some tequila. There's agave here somewhere.
That explains it.
Explains why.
Well, I've been following the tequila cartel for a while, and I think they want to tequila you.
That's supposed to be some kind of joke.
I thought it was a good one.
Well, who are you and why are you here?
I'm Margarita Dave. And I'm tracking the tequila cartel for many months now. And for centuries, they've been taking out the competition and monopolizing the tequila reserves.
How'd you land on the name Margarita Dave?
Margaritas are delicious.
And the Dave part?
I have an uncle named Dave. Now, enough chit-chat. Let's go get your agave plant, Jeff. Jeff, do something! What was that?
Dumb cane. It numbs him out. He won't be able to yell for help.
And how do you know this?
Well, I used to be a dental hygienist, so I know about the mouth, but really, I had a good tour guide.
Dental hygienist. Good tour guide. All right.
How do you have a slingshot with you?
Jeff, I always come prepared. Let's go get your agave plant.
Oh, there it is.
did you learn that?
I used to be a boxer.
Amazing. Go get you a guave. The exit's just that way. I'll lead them away from you.
Thanks, Margarita Dave. I couldn't have done this without you. Oh, you big time.
Don't worry about it. Just pour me a margarita sometime, we'll call it even.
Deal.
Take care, Jeff.
Mike, we did it! We did it? Were you sleeping? I might have dozed off a little
Man, you
bit.
wouldn't believe what happened in there.
What happened?
We got the agave. You know what that means?
Tequila?
No, Yagila!
Tequila!